Beneath the turquoise waters of the Great Barrier Reef, a romantic tale took an unforeseen turn, leaving behind a mystery that has fascinated and haunted many. This is the story of Tina Watson, a journey that started with love and adventure, but ended in tragedy and unanswered questions. Tina, a young and adventurous woman, embarked on a life-changing journey when she met her future husband, Gabe Watson. Their love story unfolded against the backdrop of the stunning Australian coastline, promising a lifetime of shared adventures. Tina Watson was born in West Germany on February 13, 1977, and placed for adoption. On January 24, 1980, she was officially adopted by Tommy and Cindy Thomas. Growing up with her younger sister, the family initially resided in Walker County, Alabama, before moving to Birmingham, and eventually settling in Louisiana in 1990. Described as a bright and joyful individual, Tina's presence was said to light up the lives of those around her. During her childhood, Tina was diagnosed with paroxysmal supraventricular tachycardia, PSVT, a condition marked by an abnormally fast heart rhythm, leading to symptoms like shortness of breath, lightheadedness, sweating, and palpitations. The prescribed medications provided limited relief, and instead, sapped her energy. At the age of 24, Tina underwent a minor procedure to address her PSVT. She pursued her education at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, and, during that time, became engaged to Scott McCulloch. Unfortunately, their engagement was called off due to disapproval from Tina's mother. Later, Tina entered into a relationship with Gabe Watson. Born on March 5, 1977, David Gabe Watson, commonly known as Gabe, was recognized for his amiable and affable nature, easily forging connections with everyone he encountered. Smitten by Tina, they began their relationship shortly after meeting at a New Year's Eve celebration, despite Tina initially rebuffing his numerous attempts to ask her out. Following their graduation from the University of Alabama, Tina pursued a managerial role in a clothing store, while Gabe joined his father's company. Gabe, purportedly a qualified certified rescue diver, harbored a keen interest in scuba diving and engaged in the activity frequently. In contrast, Tina did not share the same enthusiasm for scuba diving. In January 2003, Tina initiated scuba diving lessons to share in Gabe's passion for the activity. Concerns arose among Tina's parents due to her previous heart condition, PSVT. Tommy, Tina's father, approached Gabe, expressing his worry about Tina's health. However, Gabe dismissed the concerns, asserting that both partners should engage in activities the other loved. Despite Tommy's uncertainty, when Gabe inquired about authorizing their marriage, Gabe remained unperturbed. Gabe playfully teased Tina with a wedding ring but never formally proposed, citing a need for the right timing. On April 20, 2003, during an Easter egg hunt at their home, Gabe concealed an engagement ring within an egg and proposed to Tina after she discovered it. This gesture left Tina's parents displeased, viewing Gabe as someone who acted without considering others' opinions, and his desires always took precedence without scrutiny. On September 26, 2003, Tina approached her father, expressing the need to increase her life insurance and designate Gabe as the sole beneficiary. Skeptical and uncertain about the urgency, Tina's father hesitated and brushed off the matter until their return from the honeymoon. On October 11, 2003, Tina and Gabe exchanged vows of marriage. Immediately after their wedding, they embarked on their honeymoon the following day, heading to Australia for a 2-week getaway. During the initial week, they explored Sydney, and in the second week, they ventured to Townsville, Queensland. While in Townsville, they boarded the Spoilsport cruise ship, engaging in 25 scuba dives across various reef sites. Despite Tina's limited experience with only 5 dives compared to Gabe's 55, she felt secure due to Gabe's training as a rescue diver. As the couple prepared for a more challenging dive, Gabe declined the option of bringing a professional diver along, insisting on his certification and asserting his competence. However, concerns arose when Gabe encountered issues with his dive computer, causing unease for Tina. The dive computer was designed to track the duration and depth of dives, providing an estimate of the safe time to stay underwater before resurfacing. The particular dive they undertook was considered challenging due to its depth and the ocean's strong currents. With limited assistance available on the boat in case of emergencies, Gabe, before the dive, requested additional weight for Tina to enable her to descend further. Once Tina received the added weight, they began their descent. However, within a few minutes underwater, Gabe observed Tina displaying signs of concern and struggling to signal that something was amiss. According to Gabe, Tina accidentally dislodged his breathing mask, inducing a moment of panic. While fixing his mask, Gabe became distracted, and upon resolving the issue, observed Tina sinking towards the ocean floor. Despite being purportedly a certified rescue diver, Gabe, akin to lifeguards, swam to the surface and headed to the boat for assistance. Meanwhile, an underwater instructor named Wade, who was also submerged, noticed Tina's predicament, intervened, and brought her to the surface. Wade then transported Tina to another boat named Jazz 2, where he administered CPR for over half an hour. When questioned about his decision to leave Tina underwater, Gabe cited his lack of knowledge on how to bring someone back to the surface as his rationale. Without checking on Tina's well-being or whereabouts, Gabe returned to the original boat instead. Observers on the boat noted Gabe's peculiar behavior, expressing concern about his lack of apparent distress and his unusual requests for hugs from everyone. When assistance finally arrived, Tina was transported to the hospital. At the hospital, medical personnel found it unusual that Tina had very little water in her lungs, considering the circumstances where one would typically expect more water inhalation. Wade, the underwater instructor, also found it strange that Tina had sunk as scuba divers, unless weighted, are naturally buoyant and do not typically sink. When Wade swam to rescue Tina, he observed that she was wearing all her weights, prompting him to release her weight belt to expedite her ascent to the surface. During the subsequent investigation, detectives uncovered that Tina had been carrying 20 pounds of weight when only 8 pounds were necessary. Tragically, despite the efforts, Tina could not be saved and passed away at the hospital. Several divers who participated in the same dive asserted that they witnessed Gabe giving Tina a bear hug underwater while she was struggling. One of the divers took a photograph of his wife, and upon developing the photos, they realized that Tina was seen in the background at the bottom of the ocean, lying face up. During the questioning by detectives, Gabe's account was inconsistent, and there were contradictions in his narrative about how Tina sank. Gabe chose to communicate the details to his parents over the phone. Surprisingly, he declined to engage in a conversation with Tina's parents, and instructed his parents to relay the information to them. The coroner concluded that Tina's cause of death was drowning, ruling it as an accidental occurrence without any signs of foul play. Tina's father was left in utter disbelief at these findings. Gabe, together with Tina's body, were flown back to the United States 5 days afterward. The funeral, attended by various family members and friends, witnessed a unanimous sentiment among them that Gabe's behavior was inappropriate. Whilst standing in front of the open casket, Gabe turned to his friend and said, "At least her breast looked perky." In adherence to the routine, Gabe later that year sent Tina's family a Christmas card featuring a picture of both of them from their wedding. On the card, Gabe penned his thoughts, "Who's that sexy guy next to Tina? Oh yeah, that's me." After the situation stabilized, Gabe attempted to file a claim against the travel agency for the disrupted trip. However, the insurance company notified him that neither Tina's life insurance nor the injuries sustained during scuba diving were covered by the insurance policy. Despite not believing a word of the account, Tina's father, Tommy, sensed the need to delve deeper into the situation. Several individuals from Spoil Sport ship approached Tommy to assist him in uncovering the truth about his daughter. Following a conversation with one of the ship's crew members, he discovered that Gabe was not present on the ship during Tina's resuscitation. Motivated by this revelation, Tommy resolved to fly to Australia and conduct his investigation. Upon arriving in Australia, the initial individual Tommy engaged with was the diver responsible for bringing Tina to the surface of the ocean. Following discussions with the police and a meticulous examination of the case, the Townsville police concurred that there was substantial evidence indicating the possibility of foul play. In July 2004, a determination was made to classify the case not as an accident, but as a criminal investigation. The police highlighted numerous discrepancies in Gabe's narrative and the evidence presented. Contrary to Gabe's account, Tina's body was not located where he claimed it to be. Gabe asserted encountering 2 divers on his way to the surface, urging them to assist Tina, yet police discovered no supporting evidence of these alleged encounters. Two other divers who were observing from a distance refuted Gabe's claim, asserting that there was no one in the vicinity of Gabe and Tina. Gabe's assertion that he rapidly ascended to assist Tina contradicted his dive computer data, which indicated a more deliberate ascent. Examination of Tina's dive computer revealed multiple rapid resurfacing instances during their scuba dive, suggesting panic. Detectives deduced that Tina, uncomfortable with diving, needed extra support, a fact later confirmed by her scuba instructor in court, emphasizing her lack of experience. The minimal amount of water in Tina's lungs suggested she likely passed out during the dive, her mouth relaxing off the mouthpiece, allowing water entry. Suspicions arose that Gabe may have deliberately cut off Tina's air until she lost consciousness, then resumed before leaving her submerged, potentially explaining her struggles witnessed by others. This theory was contested by dive experts who deemed it nearly impossible for Tina to reach the surface before running out of air. Further investigation revealed Gabe's proficiency in ocean rescues, prompting inquiries into the diving company's practices. It was uncovered that Gabe had misrepresented his diving experience, marking only 15 ocean dives instead of accurately portraying his skills. The company, misled by Gabe's repeated claims of being a certified diver, failed to assign a trained diver to accompany them, neglecting to address Tina's underwater panic, a crucial detail omitted by Gabe in his communications with the company. Tommy also shared that whenever he visited Tina's grave, the flowers he left mysteriously vanished, leading him to suspect theft. Gabe, expressing a desire to relocate Tina's body to his plot, moved her grave without placing a headstone, leaving it unmarked for 3 years. Upon discovering the new location, Tommy continued leaving flowers, only to find them gone the next day, and sometimes within hours. Disturbed by this, Tommy reported the situation to the police, prompting them to set up a camera near the grave to identify the culprit. The footage ultimately captured Gabe taking the flowers, with his justification being Tina's purported dislike for plastic flowers. Meanwhile, Gabe entered into a relationship with another lady identified as Kim, whom he married in August 2008. Australian authorities flew to Alabama to delve deeper into the case, uncovering unsettling information about Gabe's true character. It was revealed that Tina and Gabe had previously broken up before their engagement due to frequent quarrels, and during their separation, Tina went on a date, eliciting Gabe's furious reaction. Gabe resorted to name-calling and harassment. Despite reconciling and Gabe proposing to Tina, the police speculated that a potential motive for Gabe's actions could be linked to a life insurance payout. In May 2009, Gabe was extradited to Australia to face trial after reaching an agreement to lower the charges from murder to manslaughter. During the trial, he was found guilty of manslaughter and initially sentenced to 4.5 years. However, the judge opted to suspend the sentence to 12 months. The Alabama Attorney General contested the leniency of the sentence, filing an appeal that was approved, leading to an extension of the sentence to 18 months. Subsequently, the Alabama Attorney General sought to bring the case back to the United States for a retrial in Alabama, asserting the presence of additional evidence not presented during the Australian court proceedings. Australia insisted on a guarantee that Alabama would not pursue the death penalty before allowing any evidence from Australia to be transferred to the United States. Alabama agreed to the condition, leading to Gabe's return to the U.S., where he was taken into police custody for a retrial in Alabama. The Attorney General filed 2 charges, one for capital murder and another for kidnapping with deception. It was alleged that Gabe deceived Tina into taking diving lessons and traveling to Australia. Meanwhile, the Alabama courts removed Gabe as the administrator of Tina's estate, granting the role to Tina's father, Tommy. Despite Tommy's request for Tina's personal belongings, Gabe failed to return them. The trial commenced on February 13, 2012, coinciding with what would have been Tina's 35th birthday. However, peculiarly, the court in Alabama prohibited the mention of evidence about Gabe's unusual behavior and disallowed raising the life insurance claim. With this crucial evidence excluded, the judge determined insufficient grounds to convict Gabe of murder, resulting in his acquittal on all charges. Gabe claimed to be at peace with the verdict and expressed a desire to rebuild his life, but Tina's family was left without the closure they sought. Tina's untimely death cast a shadow over the dreams of a young couple in love, leaving her family and friends grappling with the pain of loss and the mystery surrounding that fateful day on the Great Barrier Reef. In the aftermath, The community came together to remember Tina, a vibrant spirit lost too soon, and to reflect on the fragility of life in the face of seemingly serene waters. The Tina Watson story is a somber reminder that even in the most beautiful places, tragedy can strike. May her memory inspire conversations about safety, transparency, and the pursuit of truth in the face of life's deepest mysteries. If you found this video compelling, leave a like, and your thoughts in the comments. Be sure to subscribe and check out our other videos.